Hey guys, welcome to another recap of Celebrity Apprentice. Alright, so the show begins with Lisa Lampanelli crushing Clay Aiken's balls in a vise. She just has some choice words for him. It only felt like that. Teresa gets to deliver her check for the kidney kid. And, you know, no matter what I feel about a particular celebrity, it's always the best part of the show when they get to deliver their check. It's very heartwarming, even if it is a little awkward. Alright, so FAO Schwartz is where they meet for the next task, and Brian Henson is there, Jim Henson's son. And he explains that each team is going to be building 2 puppets at the creature shop. I can only imagine the creatures there. And then they're going to be performing in an improv show. So the teams are a little bit uneven. So Trump asks, you know, well, who do you want to go on your team? Lisa, Penn, and Diana. And of course, Aubrey and Clay's name come up, but Trump's like, I don't care what you have to say. I've already decided, and it's going to be Clay. So Clay joins Team Forte. And the PMs, well, nobody really wants to do this on Team Forte. No, yeah, on Team Forte. No, on the other team. My brain is fried. I feel like Paul Sr. Alright, so Paul Sr. is like, I don't care. If nobody else wants to do it, I'll do it. And then, of course, Lisa Lampanelli wants to do it because she thinks she's so great at improv. So, Team Forte. Clay reveals he did puppets in church. I'm sure they were great, too. Diana informs everyone that she's had 2 years of improv training, to which Lisa Lampanelli has to trump her, saying, well, I've had 22, honey. Well, Diana just wants to be in the show because she wants to have something to do during this task, because if Lisa's the project manager, it pretty much guarantees that Diana's going to be left out in the cold. So Lisa's like, no, you're not going to be in the show. I can't put Penn as one of the puppeteers because he's too tall. I don't know why he couldn't sit on a stool, but maybe she didn't think of that. Maybe there's too much between the ears and not enough brain. But she made Penn the host, and her and Clay are going to be the puppeteers. And Diana's just going to do whatever. Alright. So Diana ends up designing the puppets with Penn. And she did such a good job that the people at the creature shop were like, yeah, we want to use that puppet when you guys are not here anymore. So, pretty good. So, I have to say, though, my favorite puppet of all that they had already made was this dog in a diaper that they were using to rehearse with. It was just so adorable. It was like, I guess, like a mastiff or something in a diaper. And Lisa Lampanelli had her hand up its diaper, I guess. So cute. I want that. So when Eric shows up to mentor for the task, he realizes that there's quite a bit of tension between Diana and Lisa. So Diana ends up not having anything to do with the performance. While on Team Unanimous, Arsenio begins by backpedaling and saying how much Aubrey has improved and did a little butt kissing. Teresa was a little bit difficult during this task. It took her forever to come up with a name for her puppet because she's one of the puppeteers. And she thought that, you know, well, and Aubrey was encouraging her, you know, you're going to be the persona for this puppet. You have to love it, so you create it. So, fine, you know, and she took such great care to come up with such great names for her 4 freaking kids, too. So, she came up with the name Fabiana, because her new cookbook's going to be called Fabulicious. So creative. So Aubrey's trying really hard not to step on toes since the last time Ivanka called her out. But she's going to be the host. Because Paul Sr. is not really doing too much. He doesn't seem to be into it anymore. I don't know. He's just seemed to lost his drive. What was Paul actually doing? I have no idea, because it looks like he was just sitting there eating and drinking coffee half the time. Was Teresa smarter than the puppet? I'm gonna have to say no. Well, at least she learned some new nursery rhymes, right? Aubrey's still talking smack on everyone. She hasn't learned her lesson yet. She just can't keep a big blabbly blah blah mouth shut. Alright, so Teresa's not even good at being Teresa, unfortunately. Oh my god. Best moment of the show was when Lisa Lampanelli said that Debbie Gibson took a 4-alarm dump at medieval times in the locker room. Where did that come from? Holy crap. Oh yeah. So Diana wants something to do. She wanted to carry out the box of props on stage just so it looked like she was doing something, or like so she could feel like she was a part of the presentation. And Lisa has a freaking 4-alarm meltdown. And I just can't stand her. I'm sorry. She's literally a pig. She really is. And then she starts bitching at Clay and Penn when Diana runs off. You know, why don't you back me up? I always have to attack her on my own. Yes, because you're a jealous bitch. No one else has got a problem with Diana except for you. What do you think the problem is here? It must be you. Alright, so it's performance time. What a way to gear up for a performance by having a freaking major-ass blowout backstage. So, Penn was an awesome host, because he freaking is. He's a Las Vegas performer. Of course he's going to be amazing. And Clay was pretty amazing in his own right. Definitely not what I expected. He laid it all out there. He left it all on the stage, as they say. And Lisa was okay. For 22 freaking years of experience, Meat Mountain, I thought you would have brought a little bit more to the table than some filth. And it was pretty dirty. The judges were quite disgusted at the sexual overtones and undertones. But the audience was loving it. Of course they were. They were full of pigs, I'm sure. Alright, Aubrey. She was a pretty good host in a grating sort of way. All I heard was ning, 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 the whole time. Pop it up! Arsenio? I don't know. He's never been to Norwegia. Where did that come from? Do you not know what the country Norway is, for crying out loud? You're almost as dumb as Teresa. And Teresa ended up being funny in a dumb sort of way because she's just so clueless. Who calls their vagina a chacolina? Really? I've never even heard of that. Did you make that up, or is that some sort of weird New Jersey term for your vajayjay? So it's boardroom time. And immediately, Lisa and Diana go at it. They trade insults, and Donald Trump is like, so if you lose the task, who you bringing back? And Lisa starts crying, and I'm like thinking, what the hell is wrong with this pig? She cuts people to ribbons for a living, and she's crying like a 1-day-old baby in the boardroom. I'm not buying it. I'm calling bullshit on that one. Trump loved that she cried, though. I don't get it. Weird. It's probably like payback from when she cut him to ribbons. And Paul, on the other hand, he said that he would bring back Teresa pretty much right away after he remembered what her name is. He has a real mental block against the ladies' names on the show. It's really weird. Then they brought up the whole, Teresa named her baby Melania after Donald Trump's wife, Melania, although they spell it differently. Not true. She said on the New Jersey Housewives that it was because they were in Milan. Liar. Pants on fire. Alright, so Paul hurt his back during the task, so he kind of got a little slack, or it seemed like that he was going to be, if he could just muscle up his brain and, like, fight back. So, Crybaby Lisa's team won. Who cares? She's such a jealous bitch. I don't even care at this point. The reason they gave for Paul losing was because the puppets were too complex. And that in itself was too complex for Paul to handle. He was like, does that mean they had too much stuff on them? Come on, really? Teresa calls out Paul for not doing anything. It's true. Aubrey, best line of the show. Teresa, how many freaking kids do you have? Genius. All right, so Teresa, when it comes down to it, did not follow the improv rules, and that wasn't cool. But yet, Paul saves Arsenio when he should have saved Aubrey. Because Arsenio wasn't 100%, but on this task, and I stress on this task, even though Aubrey was backstage smack talking, behind the scenes, she still did everything that she was supposed to do. Paul seemed really confused during the whole thing. I don't know whether it was his pain medication or he's just done. I think he's just done with the show. I think he's had enough. It's not his forte, no pun intended. He can weld steel and use his size 12s to kick people in the butt, but when it comes to strategy and that kind of thing, I don't think that is his bag at all. Then Aubrey gave the backhanded compliment to Teresa, which really wasn't a compliment at all. But yet Paul was fired. And I think the reason was because he's just not into it anymore, and he's not adding anything to the show. And Donald senses that. If he kept Paul, he knew the ratings would go down. So no passion equals you fired. And he made the dumb move of not saving Aubrey and not bringing back Arsenio to the boardroom. So next time, success. It smells like Trump. And Lisa cheats on the task. And it's Aubrey versus Arsenio round duo. So till next time, much love.